All right, let's talk about Arsenal then, because it was their first draw of the season. It means that they don't have that lead on Manchester City that they did, but they are still at the top of the pile. In the second half, we saw a different side from Arsenal in the fact that if you look at some of the stats, when they were out of possessions, there were less successful tackles made. There were, I don't think, any shots on target. Basically, there was a drop-off in the second half against Southampton. And it's caused some to point to the fact that maybe the question as to whether they could go all the way this season would come down to squad depth, would come down to durability. Are there any concerns like that for you with Arsenal?
Yes, but where's the surprise in that? Something that maybe, of course, look at the trajectory.
But is that what we were seeing in this game, do you think? A bit of tiredness, a bit of fatigue setting in?
Yes, I mean, they were leggy. And I've said that, I think, in the previous game. I'm trying to think who it was, so many games at the time. But remember, after that Bodo game, I mentioned how far it was. Yes, they made a lot of changes, and Gabriel Jesus, I think, I think was left behind as well. But it still means a lot of these players have to travel if you don't play or not, artificial pitch. And I think that the pressure of finding themselves where they are, which is an incredible bonus, I'll get to that in a second. I think you see that. And on top of that, as much as you like the same lineup in terms of stability, I mean, Mikel Arteta has been playing pretty much the same starting 11. He's lucky that everybody's available. Everybody's healthy for the most part. But I think you're going to see that from time to time. But I don't know where the surprise is and why I don't understand the question marks, because they're, to a degree, they're way ahead of schedule. And the progress and the process that we've talked about, right? And I'll repeat myself in this one, is tremendous. And if you don't believe Arteta, he's given you kind of A, B, C's, and D's, and he tells you exactly what's going to happen, right? Last season, again, first 3 games, 3 losses, right? 0 goals scored, 9 conceded. That's last season. Then they went on to a 10-11 game unbeaten streak, and at the end of the season, barely missed out on the Champions League. In comes the new season. If you don't believe the progress, if you don't believe the process, well, you want to see the progress. Well, where are we now? Top of the table in the Premier League, top of the table in the Europa League right now. And you know what? A draw away to Southampton, that's not bad. I mean, how many times have we talked about Arsenal unable to get points away from home? How many, oh, this is always difficult, not enough character. Oh, this is the sort of game that they never win or get points out of, right? Hey, last season they lost to Southampton in that game away 1-0. Jan Bednarek, I think, scored that goal. So, look, they could have won that game. First 45 minutes, absolutely well, I shouldn't say outstanding, but good enough to be up probably 2-0, maybe 3-0. And then they had to work through it. And they did work through it, and they got something out of it. And I look at it as nothing terrible. They're just part of the league. Look at the teams that drop points this weekend, right? So Chelsea lost points, Manchester United lost points, Liverpool lost points, Manchester City won at home. You'd like to think that they would. So this is a valuable point for Arsenal. And I'd look at it on the positive side rather than the negative side.
Well, perhaps it could have been more for them, though. What did you make of that Gabriel Jesus denied penalty decision?
It's 100% penalty. We'll revisit that, I suppose, when we talk about Spurs. This is an opportunity for the referees, for VAR. By the way, and I'm going to talk about this about VAR when we talk about Spurs, because there were 3 controversial decisions there. One of which, well, not that one, maybe not so much, but we saw McTominay. Who was against McTominay in the Chelsea game against Broja? Broja, both arms around. Here, same situation. I think was Duye Chaletatzar, wasn't it? Duye Chaletatzar, both arms around Gabriel Jesus, 100% penalty. Couple weeks ago, if you remember, it was Jefferson Lerma with like a judo hold on Alexander Mitrovic when they play against Fulham. And this is an opportunity for referees VAR, because you can stop that. If there's something that we hate a lot, is that holding, pushing, shoving. I mean, some of that's going to happen, but when you have both arms around, I mean, there's probably thousands of penalties like that haven't been called. There's probably another 10 that I've missed this week alone like this, but they've recently made those calls. And I don't understand. This was a great opportunity for the referee to say, or for the referees to come out and say, look, 3 or 4 decisions like that in the last couple of weeks. Remember, and you know what? The players will stop doing that. So this was an opportunity missed. To me, this was a 100% penalty that Arsenal should have gotten.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.